Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After continuing our story in Mag 23 Guadalcanal earlier this afternoon, we're back to continue another story in a more fantasy-oriented universe. We're going to pick up our story of Call to Adventure Epic Origins from Brotherwise Games. In the Call to Adventure universe, you're looking to build up your hero's backstory. When you combine this with Role Player, you can actually build up an entire character for a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. This one's got a campaign mode to it, so we're actually in Chapter 2, because it's been a while since we played Chapter 1, but let's tell the story for this one. Chapter 2, Beast of Legend. Sages and storytellers in every culture call it by a different name. The World Shaker, the End of All, the Great Tarask. But for 1,000 years it has not been seen. Something changed in the battle against the Dark Lord. An explosion of magical power resounded across the world, unleashing primal energies. The beast has stirred, and soon it will walk the earth, leaving chaos and destruction in its wake. In a remote monastery, an order of adepts has prepared for the beast's return. Now they seek to share their knowledge. But where will they find a hero bold enough to take on a monster the size of a mountain? Our objective here is to defeat the legendary beast. Begin a new game for setup. A new generation of heroes must face each new adversary. Shuffle Adept into the Origin deck and Legendary Slayer into the Destiny deck before dealing cards to each player. In the adversary's feat deck, replace Dark Lord's Call with Hunted by the Beast. All of that I've done. Outcome: if you fail to defeat the legendary beast, face it again during your next session. Once you succeed, move on to the next chapter. Let's go ahead and meet our adversary on the first side. We have Spawn of the Beast, which will give us a hero card when we defeat it. Takes 6 successes to beat it, uses Strength, and I believe that's Dexterity. Yes, that is Dexterity. It gains an experience when a hero spends an experience to add a Dark Rune. Loses an experience when a hero journeys, and you gain +2 to attempt this if your story includes at least 4 challenges, and we'll have to attempt that at the end of Act 2. We'll refresh our memory on Reign of the Adversary. The adversary starts with 5 experience for each player in the game, gains an experience when a hero fails a non-adversary challenge, play a card from the adversary deck on the double triangle roll, and when you face the adversary, for each point of success above the adversary's difficulty, the adversary loses an experience. So if we need 6 against the Spawn of the Beast and we cast a 10, it would lose 4 experience, is how that works. That'll probably make more sense when we get into the actual game. But we can move over to the main board and we'll meet our hero. We need to reveal our character. We need to set up our character, and we'll do that by revealing our cards. First, we have one heritage that we have to choose from. Our heritage here is a construct. If we gain that, if we roll that, we gain either a card, or we can pay an experience to add 1 relevant ability rune to this challenge. Then we have our origins to choose from. First up, we find Laborer, gaining Strength and Constitution. Whenever you attempt a Strength or Constitution path, gain an experience. Our other one we have to choose from is an Artist, taking Constitution and Arcane. Each time you gain alignment, gain an experience. I think we're going to take the Laborer for this one because it's got one of the runes that we need toward the Spawn of the Beast challenge, and presumably the boss on the other side. Then we have our class. First class we have to choose from is a Monk. 2 experience, we get +1 to attempt all dexterity paths. 4 to attempt, +1 to attempt, I believe that's Wisdom, right? Yes, the green carrot with an eye is Wisdom. And 6, if you would fail a challenge by 1, you may re-roll. Or our other choice is a Ranger. 2 experience for 1, +1 to attempt dexterity paths. 4 for +1 to attempt constitution paths. And 6, whenever you add a nature to your story, gain a hero card. I think we're going to take the Monk. Mostly so we can potentially make use of the reroll. Then we have our destinies that we have to choose from. Normally this would be hidden information, but since we're playing solo, we're going to reveal both of these on camera. First up for our potential destiny is Chosen One with a radiant symbol. At the end, gain 4 triumph if you overcame the adversary, and gain 4 triumph if you have at least 4 of 1 ability rune. And Immortal Mind. At the end of the game, gain 1 triumph for each arcane in your story, and 3 triumph if you played 3 hero cards, or 3 tragedy if you played 3 anti-hero cards. We're going to keep Chosen One, figuring we'll be trying to accumulate those runes to defeat the adversary anyway. So now we need to look at our first hero card. Our first hero card is Protection from Evil. Play this in response to a card from the adversary's deck. Ignore its effects. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Then we can tip up to the board. Maybe move the camera just slightly right about there. We'll reveal Act 1. We won't worry about Acts 2 or 3 until they become relevant. Our first possible card for Act 1. Stealthy. When you gain this, gain an experience if you have at least 1 wisdom. Next up, outwit your captors, it's City Lord's Prison. Need 3 successes using Arcane and Constitution runes. You can either outwit your captors for an Arcane, or serve your time with +1 difficulty to gain a Justice and a Constitution. Now, I should mention that the Spawn of the Beast adversary talks about challenges. So these are what are considered challenges, whereas the Stealthy that we had is considered a trait. So if we have at least 4 of these cards in our story, then we get +2 when we attempt the Spawn of the Beast. Next up, we find Goblin Raid, taking either Strength or I believe that's Charisma? Yes, that is Charisma. We can either fight off a Goblin for a Strength rune or try to lead the Town Guard for +1 difficulty, gaining a Royalty, I believe, and a Charisma. I wish the story icons were referenced in the same place that the rune types were. There's got to be a list of them in here somewhere. Probably when it talks about endgame scoring and it talks about the story icons. Yes, that is Royalty. So it's in a weird place in the rulebook, but it is there. And laid out a weird way. Last up for Stage 1. Party's only Mysterious Cave with Party's only survivor. Giving you it's Mysterious Cave taking Constitution and Strength. You can either try for Party's only survivor, which would give you Constitution, or defend your party for +1, giving you a Triumph and a Strength and another Strength rune. So with that all set up, I think we're all ready to get into this game, so let's start building our hero. I definitely want to pick up the Goblin Raid, trying to fight off a Goblin for sure, so I think I'm going to make that my first order of business. So I'll bring the dice tray and shot that I'm going to use for the runes. So by default, I get the 3 basic runes, 2 of which have a 1 success, the other has a blank on it. Then this one gives you a success or a hero or anti-hero card, which will also trigger a play of a card from the adversary deck. And then because I have a strength rune in my story, I will gain another rune for that. And since I'm attempting a strength path, I will also gain another experience. So I'll cast the runes, and we'll total up the results. That's a total of 3 successes, and that's what I needed to fight off the Goblin. So we'll gain that. And then that will go under my story. And replacing it will be Athletic. When you gain this, gain an experience if you have at least 1 Constitution. Ooh. We actually might take that, but I think our next order of business will be going for Mysterious Cave and trying to defend our party, which will give us these runes. So give us these runes. Now 2 strength, because we have 2 strength in our story. And we got a Constitution. I'm going to go for Defend Your Party. Because now on 5 runes, I should be able to cast 4 pretty easily. And the named icon is worth 2, I believe. Or the actual icon of the rune is worth 2, yes. So we need 4 to clear this. Wow, that's a 6. So we get Party's Only Survivor, which goes on here, defending our party side visible. And then our next card for stage 1 is Merchant Bazaar, using Charisma and Dexterity. We can either join the Merchant Guild, which would give us a Charisma, or join the Thieves Guild, which would for +1 difficulty, which would give us a Tragedy and a Dexterity. Well, I think we could just take the Athletic here and be done with the 4 Triumph part of the 4 ability rune for the Chosen One story. And I think I will. I think we'll go ahead and grab that up right away. So I'll put that. I'll also gain an experience since I do have a Constitution in my story. So that will move there. And then we'll clear all of stage 1 to the side since we're done with that. And now stage 2 will become relevant. So we'll reveal the cards for there. First up for stage 2. Wedding Day, using Charisma and Constitution. We can either gain a life partner for a Radiant, I believe that is. I don't think we've ever established that. Divinity is what that is. And a Charisma rune, or Object to the Union for +1 difficulty. That would give me 2 Tragedy and a Constitution. Then here we have Researcher, giving a Nature and an Arcane. When you gain this, gain an experience if you added a Wisdom or Constitution path to your story last turn. Next up, Puzzle Door, taking Dexterity and Arcane. We can either disable the trap for, what's the pillar? Arcana, a Triumph and a Charisma, or solve the puzzle for +1 difficulty, giving us a hero card, 2 Triumph, and an Arcane. And last up, Drow Temple, using Dexterity and Charisma. We can either try to sneak past a Sentry for a hero card and a Dexterity, or Seduce a Cultist for +1 difficulty, giving us an anti-hero card, a Tragedy, and a Charisma. So none of these are particularly good for me. So I think I'm actually going to journey something off, which will also take away an experience from the adversary. If I can ever get that to cooperate. I will journey... Let's journey Researcher, because that's just the worst of them. So replacing that will be Treasure Hunter, giving you an anti-hero card and a Charisma, or and a Dexterity. When you gain this, you may take experience from another player or the adversary. Ooh. And we do need Charisma, or we do need Dexterity paths to try to take on the adversary. So I think I am going to take Treasure Hunter. So I'll go there. I'll get an anti-hero card, so I will draw. Thieves' Tools. Play this as any hero attempts a Dexterity or Tragedy path. Is that what that is? Villainy path. Add +2 to the attempt. That could be very useful. And then next, I also get to take an experience from the adversary. Replacing that, it will be Rampaging Beast, using Constitution and Wisdom. Either lose a loved one for a Tragedy point and a Constitution, or tame a beast, giving you a hero card, a Nature, and a Wisdom. These are still not very good. I think we're going to journey again, which will lose another experience from the spawn of the beast. This time we're going to journey the Puzzle Door. I want to see more strength here. So this one will come out with Royal Banquet, using Arcane and Charisma. either poisoning a rival for a villainy, a tragedy, and an arcane, or make an alliance at +1 difficulty, giving a hero 2 triumph and a charisma. We will actually go ahead and journey this as well. This is another pretty terrible card for us. And then replacing that in the row will be an Oracle, giving you an Arcana and a Wisdom. When you gain this, choose one. All players gain light or all players gain darkness on the alignment track, neither of which are very good. I think I'll actually journey yet again, because these all pretty much still suck. I know it's not exciting watching me journey, but this time I'm going to journey off Oracle. And replacing that, Filthy Rich, Royalty, and 2 Tragedy. When you gain this, either gain an experience for each royalty in your story, I believe is yep, that's royalty, or take 2 experience from the adversary. So I think I'm actually going to try something for a change. We're going to deal with Rampaging, we're going to deal with Rampaging Beast, and we're going to go for the Lose a Loved One path, so we will gain an experience from that. And then since I have I'm going for a Constitution path, so because of the Laborer, I do get another experience. I could pay an experience to add a relevant rune to the challenge, but I don't think I'm going to. I'd rather use that on the adversary anyway. I mean, I do have 4 experience, so that's a 1, and the villain will play a card. But I'll also get to draw a card, so the villain will draw. Wandering Monster. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. It has +1. But I also get to draw a card from that, so I will draw a hero card and draw. Magic Wand. Play this as any hero attempts an Arcane or Arcana path. Add +2 to the attempt. And I will actually fail that, which will give the adversary 1 experience back. So that gets discarded, and replacing it will be Maze of Trials, using Constitution and Arcane and Charisma. We can either recover stolen goods for a Justice and a Constitution, or try to seize the spoils at +1 difficulty, giving an anti-hero card, a Tragedy, and a Dexterity rune. Actually, I might try that. Yeah, I think we're going to try that. So we're going to go for, actually, that's going to be a 5-on-5 runes. That's not great odds. Yeah, it's probably fine. So we'll get a Charisma rune as well, and I'll pay an experience into the Laborer to get, actually, let's do this. We'll also pay 2 experience into my class to get +1 to Charisma, to Dexterity paths. And I'll pay 1 to get another Constitution rune, because of my special ability from being a construct. We'll bring the dice tray back in shot, so we're trying to seize the spoils in this case. And I've got a guaranteed +1. Wow, that's quite the roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we definitely passed that with flying colors, which will give me the Tragedy, which will give me an anti-hero card, a Tragedy point, and another Dexterity. So we'll put that there. The anti-hero card I will gain is Expertise. Play this as any hero attempts a challenge. They gain +1 to the attempt. If their class card is 5 experience or more, they gain +2. And then replacing that will be a Forgotten Mine. Using Wisdom and Charisma, you can either try to find the Lost Mine for 1 Triumph and a Wisdom, or delve for treasure at +1 difficulty. which would give you an anti-hero card, a hero card, and a dexterity rune. I think I might actually try my luck with Drow Temple now and try to sneak past a sentry. So now we'll bring the Constitution runes out. I will get 2 Charisma runes. And I've got a guaranteed +1 to the attempt because I've got the monk, because I've got 2 experience on the monk. So we've got a Laborer Monk who's the chosen one so far, and we need 3 more on these runes to pass the test, and I'm just going to look at my hand, see if I have anything that helps with that. I do not. I do have Thieves' Tools, but I'm not going to worry about that here since I only need 3 more successes with a guaranteed 1. Alright, I will play a card from the adversary's deck. So the adversary will play Cursed Treasure. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. They may gain a corruption to draw a hero or an anti-hero card. Let's not do that. But I will draw a hero card from this symbol coming up, so I will find a Holy Symbol. Play this as any hero attempts a Wisdom or Divinity path. Add +2 to the attempt. And then I will actually succeed at the sneak past a sentry, so that will go into my story. And I will then draw a hero card, so I will draw Finest Hour. Play this as any hero is attempting a challenge. Give them +1 to attempt a triumph path, or +2 to face the adversary. I think we'll save that for later, but we have cleared Act 2 now, so before we move into Act 3, we do have to face the adversary. So we have 3 story cards in Act 1 and 3 in Act 2, so we have to face the adversary, the Spawn of the Beast. Which means we'll bring the Spawn of the Beast back in shot. We're using Strength and Dexterity. Looking at my card, I've got all 3 of my Strength. So I get the 3 basic, all 3 of my Strength, and I've got all 3 Charisma now as well, so I will get all 3 of those. I have a guaranteed +1 on the I've got a guaranteed +1 on the from having a 2 experience on the monk. Is there anything else I want to play for this? There is. I'm going to play Thieves' Tools into this since I am technically attempting a charisma path, or a dexterity path, so I'll gain +2 to the attempt, which means I've got a guaranteed +3. That should let me siphon that last experience off and clear the challenge with not too many problems. So let's see what I roll here. Wow, that is a lot of results. So I can eat. So first, I'm going to draw an adversary card. So the adversary will play Hunted by the Beast. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. Unless they journeyed this turn, the adversary gains an experience. We didn't journey this turn, so the adversary will gain an experience, but I don't think that will matter. Because we had a guaranteed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we've got experience with those 2. We've got options with these 2. I could immediately either add 2 to a dexterity challenge, which I probably don't need, or add 0 and draw an anti-hero card. I will add 0 and draw the anti-hero card. So here I will draw. Cunning Action. Choose a hero attempting a challenge. For each dexterity in their story, they gain +1 to their attempt. And then for the sword with dots on it, that lets me add 2 to a strength challenge or add 0 and immediately gain an experience. I'm going to gain the experience because I had a guaranteed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which means I have defeated the Spawn of the Beast, and I get to siphon all of the experience away from the adversary because the difficulty was 6. I rolled 10, So I get to remove 4 experience, which translates to the 2 remaining for the Spawn of the Beast. I also get a hero card from defeating it, so I will draw. Song of Rest. Choose a hero who faced a challenge this turn. They gain a light alignment or an experience. So those can leave the shot. I'll put those back in. And then we'll prepare Act 3. Right, yes. Okay, so now we move on to Act 3. So all of this can go away. We'll also flip over our new adversary. So the Spawn of the Beast flips into the Legendary Beast. Final adversary, giving me 7 Triumph and another Strength. Taking Strength and Charisma. I gain the adversary gains an experience when a hero spends experience to add a dark rune. When that comes up, I have to immediately spend an experience or get -1 to the attempt. And the boss loses experience when a hero journeys. So that's not that catastrophic. And did I ever draw the hero card from overcoming it? Yes, I did. Okay. So now we've got that straight. Looking at Act 3, all of this can go to the bottom of Act 2. I'm going to take a quick drink since I feel my throat's starting to get a little scratchy, but not bad. Okay. That's much better. Anyway, looking at Act 3, first card up we find Undersea Ruins. To use Arcane and Strength, we can either find an artifact for a royal... That's not royalty. What is that? I had that page earlier. Here we go. That is Arcana. 2 Triumph and an Arcane. Or slay a Leviathan at +1 difficulty for 4 Triumph and another Strength. Next up we have Endless Winter's Heart, needing 7 successes, taking Constitution and Wisdom. We can either go for Endless Winter to gain an anti-hero card, 3 Tragedy points, and a Constitution, or try to restore Summer at +1 difficulty. That would give you a Nature for Triumph and a Wisdom. Next up, Eldritch Knight, taking a Strength and an Arcane. When you gain this, if you have played at least 2 hero cards this game, gain 2 experience. You may return a hero card you have played to your hand. And Extraplanar Incursion, taking Arcane and Wisdom. We can either summon a demon on a villain to give us a villainy, 2 Tragedy and an Arcane, or close the portal at +1 difficulty, giving us a Nature, 3 Triumph, and a Wisdom. Before we jump into Act 3, I do need to take a small break. None of these cards are exactly perfect for what I want. Am I going to be able to play some hero cards to make Eldritch Knight viable? I could have used Protection from Evil, but I'm not going to worry about that now. Actually, we could bounce that back. We could bounce some stuff back. So I'm going to play Song of Rest. Actually, choose a hero who faced a challenge, which we actually did. We faced the adversary. So we'll play Song of Rest to gain a... I do have some anti-hero cards I still want to play, so I'm actually going to gain an experience. Then I'm going to play... Actually, I think we're going to go for Endless Winter. We're going to go for Winter's Heart and go for Endless... that's going to be a fail, most likely. Let's try Slaying a Leviathan on Undersea Ruins. And I'm going to play... I'm going to play Finest Hour to give me a +1 to attempting a Triumph path. I do at least get all 3 of my strength runes, so that's something. So I got my 3 and my 3 strength. Yeah, we'll go with that. And since I'm attempting a strength path, I gain another experience, which I'll immediately spend to add an arcane rune, because that's my special ability as being a construct. So let's see what happens here. So this is a guaranteed 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I get to pick up I believe that one gives me an experience. It's been a while since I played Call to Adventure, so I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head. And wait, I shouldn't have had that. Oh no, that's the strength one. Never mind. I do have all 3 strength runes, so I do gain the experience back right away. And I get Slay a Leviathan. That'll go under my stage 3. So replacing that in stage 3 will be Coronation, using 6 successes, taking strength and wisdom. I can either rule with an Iron Fist for 3 tragedy and a strength, or rule wisely at +1 difficulty, which would give me a royalty, 3 triumph, and a wisdom. And I think now I'm going to pick up Eldritch Knight, now that I've played at least 2 hero cards. So that will go under my story and actually give me an arcane rune. And since I have played 2 hero cards, I will gain 2 experience. And I get to bounce a hero card back to my hand. I'm actually going to bounce Finest Hour back to my hand. And then replacing that will be Council of Sovereigns, taking Charisma and Arcane for 7 successes. I can either bring Unity for a royalty, 3 triumph, and a charisma, or No More Kings +1 difficulty, which would give me a Justice, 4 tragedy points, and an Arcane. I think here I'm going to try for Coronation, and I'm going to rule with an Iron Fist. Is there anything I want to play? I'm going to play... Actually, I'm going to put 4 more experience into my hero. So I have all 3 effects. So I can now gain +1 to wisdom paths as well. And if I would fail a challenge by 1, I may reroll. And that's what I'm more interested in. Just responding... Sorry for stopping for a second. Okay, so where was I? Oh yes, I was about to play ruling. I was about to try ruling with an Iron Fist. Actually, I could try for rule wisely. Not that I think it really matters in the grand scheme of things. So I think I actually will go for rule wisely instead. Since I'm actually paying attention, I'm now going to remember that I've got Holy Symbol, which gives me +2 to the attempt since I am going for a wisdom path. Which means I get the arcane rune Leaves. I do get all 3 of my strength runes, but I don't get any of my... I don't get any wisdom runes because I don't have any. I've got a guaranteed +2 on the attempt, though. So let's see what happens here. Okay. Does that automatically mean they play a hero or anti-hero card? Oh wait, I've been using that when that pops up. Okay, so I shouldn't have used that earlier. That gives me a 0 and activates my heritage card, which I don't think I need. But the adversary... Does the adversary play an adversary card automatically? I'm not sure on that. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the. Oh, okay. So we do. Okay, so we do play that, which means the adversary will play. Overwhelming odds. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. Ignore that hero's class powers until the end of the turn, which I don't think matters. No, because I had a guaranteed +2. That would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will gain a hero card from that, so I will draw. Protection from Evil, which we have another one in hand. But I will succeed at ruling wisely, which will put that under my Act 3 story. I'm going to shut the camera off for a second so I can respond, but when we come back, we'll be facing the adversary. Also, I almost forgot about the ability on the legendary beast. I would need to spend -1, spend an experience, or I would get -1 to the attempt. But since I had a guaranteed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm fine getting the -1 to the attempt. So that's not a huge problem there. That should be in the hero deck. So I will still pass the challenge on rule. Will I still pass the challenge on rule wisely? No, I wouldn't. So I do have to spend an experience. Because I need that, because that would be Xaxes to pass that. But I have now cleared it. We'll put that back there. And now I'm facing the hero. Or now I'm facing the villain, or the adversary. So we're going to be dropping a bunch of bombs here. So I'm going to play Finest Hour, which will give me a +2 to face the adversary since I am. I'm going to play Cunning Action, which gives me a +1 per charisma, or per dexterity in my story. And I've got 1, 2, 3, so that's a guaranteed +5. And I need 8 to clear it. Which I could also play Expertise, but that seems like it's a win more card at this point. So I'll get all 3 of my Charisma runes. Right now, I only need 2 on these. That looks like a lot of successes to me. That landed that side up. So we get another experience. Remember, we had a guaranteed 5 coming into this. So that result gives me another experience. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I could either gain 2 or at 0 and draw a hero card. It's not really going to matter either way. Actually, that would be an anti-hero card. But I will gain another 2, because why not? So I have definitely defeated the challenge, and he's lost all of his... He actually didn't have any experience coming into that. So that means I've defeated the adversary, and I don't move it to my mat, but I do count my rewards. So let's move into final scoring. Alright, so I have managed to win the game. But let's total up my score. First, for my triumph, I had 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. For tragedy, I had 1, 2, 3. Experience, I had 3 left. Story icons, I didn't score for anything because I didn't manage to finish any sets. And I gained 7 points for defeating the adversary, which brings me up to a total of 24 points. So that's not terrible, but the win about the adversary was more what we needed. So I'm going to take a minute to think of a good story here, and then we'll see what kind of story I come up with for... We'll see what kind of a story I come up with for this hero. Our hero, Philia Ink Drinker, was a laborer, was a construct who was built for labor purposes, but turned out to be a monk as well, in a temple outside the city. He discovered some athletic talents pretty early in his life, where after he acquired free will, he was able to fight off a goblin raid and then sneak into a mysterious cave after the goblins, but he defended his party after they got ambushed there. He then discovered an appetite for adventure after that, where he realized that he was a treasure hunter and had the athletic talent for that. And his treasure hunting adventures took him to several different places, including where did this one go? Including into a maze of trials where he was able to seize a treasure of a weapon, where he was able to seize a weapon that enabled him to help sneak past a sentry in heading into Drow Temple. Inside the temple, when he was in the temple, he learned that he had hidden powers of being a chosen one. And actually, that reminds me, he should have had 8 more triumph from his chosen one story. So he actually has 32 points. So in his adventures in the temple, he discovered being a chosen one. On his way out, he was ambushed by a Leviathan and was able to defeat that. He then discovered he also had powers of being an Eldritch Knight. And with these powers, after saving the town from the Leviathan, they made him king, and he vowed to rule wisely. But he had his last challenge to face, which was the legendary beast. He managed to slay the beast and settled into a life of peace in the town. So I know that's a pretty lame story, but that's what I was able to come up with on short notice. But that will do it for this playthrough of Call to Adventure Epic Origins. We'll be on Chapter 3 when we jump back into this. So as far as the next gameplay coming up, assuming the schedule holds, I'm expecting to play Marvel Champions tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to put just our 3rd sports game on the channel as we play Payoff Pitch Baseball from Sideline Strategy Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.